What's that, a bug? Nah, it's just a flaw. Shaders are a myth, don't strap in, losers. It's time to witness a disaster in real time. The Enigma's on the case.
You thought coding was hard? Nah, just wait.
I'm in Unity, not sure what I'm doing, but hey, it's fine, let's see what I ruin. Models, oh, they're kinda bendy. Hope you like my art, it's glitchy and trendy. Yeah, it's the Enigma, my games are a mess. Watch me code my way into an epic stress. I break it, I fix it, well, mostly break. But stick around, maybe you'll learn from my mistake. Pixel art, more like pixel chaos. What's that, a bug? Nah, it's just a flaw. Shaders are a myth, don't even ask. I'm here for the crash, not the finished task. I throw in some code, pray to the gods, pray it compiles, cause I'm out of odds. Debug, yeah, that's a different joke. It's like trying to fix a boat with a hole in the poke. It's the Enigma, watch me burn this down. Screaming at the screen while I wear this crown. My game's alive or dead, who can tell? But hey, at least it's got a story to sell. So here's the truth, my work's a nightmare. But if you're here for the crash, then you're already there. Coding's a mess, but I don't give a damn. Now get ready, folks, for the Enigma's jam. Get ready, folks, for the Enigma's jam. Lost Lot. Strap in, losers. It's time to witness a disaster in real time. The Enigma's on the case.
You thought coding was hard? Nah, just wait.
I'm in Unity, not sure what I'm doing, but hey, it's fine, let's see what I ruin. Models, oh, they're kinda bendy. Hope you like my art, it's glitchy and trendy. Yeah, it's the Enigma, my games are a mess. Watch me code my way into an epic stress. I break it, I fix it, well, mostly break. But stick around, maybe you'll learn from my mistake. Pixel art, more like pixel chaos. What's that, a bug? Nah, it's just a flaw. Shaders are a myth, don't even ask. I'm here for the crash, not the finished task. I throw in some code, pray to the gods, pray it compiles, cause I'm out of odds. Debug, yeah, that's a different joke. It's like trying to fix a boat with a hole in the poke. It's the Enigma, watch me burn this down. Screaming at the screen while I wear this crown. My game's alive or dead, who can tell? But hey, at least it's got a story to sell. So here's the truth, my work's a nightmare. But if you're here for the crash, then you're already there. Coding's a mess, but I don't give a damn. Now get ready, folks, for the Enigma's jam. Get ready, folks, for the Enigma's jam. Lost Lot. users, it's time to witness a disaster in real time. The Enigma's on the case.
You thought coding was hard? Nah, just wait.
I'm in Unity, not sure what I'm doing, but hey, it's fine, let's see what I ruin. Models, oh, they're kinda bendy. Hope you like my art, it's glitchy and trendy. Yeah, it's the Enigma, my games are a mess. Watch me code my way into an epic stress. I break it, I fix it, well, mostly break. But stick around, maybe you'll learn from my mistake. Pixel art, more like pixel chaos. What's that, a bug? Nah, it's just a flaw.
I made the sad bubbly flavoring, so it's just like, this was stupid.
Shallon got a soda stream. And hello.
Hi, people! It's okay. Only like 15 people are there for the first 2 seconds of your life.
Why is my block bench not sharing? That's not block bench. That's Discord. Block bench. There we go.
Is your computer fancy enough that it could handle streaming to me in Discord, or should I just pull up your stream so I can see what you're doing? That makes a lot more sense. I'll do that. I'll be your first viewer.
I need I need to there's a few bits that I actually need to do that I think that would mess up with anyway. But for now, I can actually share my screen with you on Discord, because I do need to show you something. Not that, but I do need to show you something.
Okay.
Don't share my system audio with you though, because otherwise that'll probably create like the weirdest feedback loop ever.
Well, hopefully not, because I have. Ooh, that's a block bench.
That is a block bench. So wait, hey Star, how's it going? You are about to experience something wondrous. The start of something disastrous.
It was wondrous, and then I helped.
I'm gonna explain to Shallon whilst I'm explaining to all of you. Sorry, this is to all of you. Trigaluni and Sub Ninja, how's it going? I created a new Discord specifically for doing game design, to basically reconnect with some of the people that I went to college with. A couple of my lecturers joined, one of which is a gentleman called Ant. He's one of my favourite people, love the guy. He gave me many quotes, as I'm sure some of you are aware, if not all of you, Shallon teaches game design. Ant, who is one of my lecturers, he takes part in game jams. Me and Shallon can't do game jams. We're both very busy men with having a newborn on my side, and Shallon basically having a class of newborn games developers 5 days a week.
He didn't warn me that we were doing this, so I didn't go buy jam.
Shallon has really very little idea of what's about to happen. So rather than doing that, I've set a target of we're starting today. I started it earlier on, and then we're going to go through till next Friday, and the idea is that me and Jan are going to work and try and see how far through this game we can get from basically nothing, which is what we're at pretty much now, to having a functioning game that people would be able to play.
I actually have my game design document just right there. It says fun things, more fun, make Ant proud. That's all you need in the game. Those
always proud as a proud man. But so I did this earlier on. This is a game design document. I'm going to go through it. So
yeah, yours
Shallon has no idea what this is either. So we're just going to go through this really quick. So this is for a game that I have dubbed. Actually, is my music's not too loud, is it, chat? Is my music too loud? I feel like it might be slightly too loud. I'm going to adjust it ever so slightly. There we go. So this is for a game design, for a game called Echoes of Eden. So just real quick, I'm going to explain as I go through this for anybody that's watching now or anybody that might watch in the future, what a game design document actually is. So elevator pitch is basically a pitch that you have to be able to get through in the time it takes to travel in an elevator to get somebody interested, basically. So this says, trapped in a cramped small space station orbiting deep space, a lone adorable astronaut must mine asteroids, refine the elements from it, and craft their way to survival. With limited oxygen, expanding the station, assembling machines, and cloning crewmates is the only way to build a self-sustaining home amongst the stars. Design pillars, cozy survival game. So provide a nice low-stress, welcoming experience with some nice, fun, high replayability. A focus on like engaging non-punitive survival mechanics with nice gates. I'm not going to explain what a gate is. You get it, Shallon. From our conversations, I don't want really annoying arbitrary gates. I don't want the Stardew experience.
Those are big games. It's not fun.
Meaningful progression. Every crafted object, room, or clone feels like a real milestone. So players get a sense of ownership over their station's growth. Some creative expression. Allow players to design their own ideal space station by choosing their layout and decor. And cloning crew personalities. Resourceful exploration. Encourage risk-reward decisions by balancing the limited oxygen spacewalks with increasingly rich asteroid fields. And then narrative through play. So the story is more shown to you as opposed to delivered to you via exposition. So as a general sort of, I'm going to skip over unique selling points. That's like USPs, but it's basically things that are fun in the game that are unique. So no combat, no fail states, just cosmic tinkering, personalization that's just fun. Game file, vibe and feel, whimsical isolation, like a soft blanket wrapped around the void, feel, retro review, just general stuff, target audience. And then we have a little bit of narrative framework. And then some narrative beats and progression milestones, which I'm not going to get into on stream because I don't want to give away story related stuff. This bit started off as 2D pixel art. This actually isn't now. This is hybrid. 2D pixel art aesthetic in a 3D environment. For anybody that isn't sure what I'm talking about when I say hybrid, been a while since a game design stream. It has, and there's a reason for that. I'm lazy. It has been a while since that game design stream. No, So anybody that was watching my game design streams last year, I started doing Feed the Machine. And then I stopped. I stopped because my wife got pregnant and I had many things to do. And then the major reason was I wasn't sure what engine I wanted to use. That has now been rectified. I'm going to be using Unity, but I wasn't sure at the time. So it's basically this is a light resource management and base building game. I'm doing the worst thing ever, updating Minecraft mods. Oh no, yeah, that does suck. I feel for you. So the core gameplay loop, Shallon. So you go out on timed spacewalks, and when they say timed, it's like, so the character has an oxygen tank. The oxygen tank at the start of the game would only last for a 60-second spacewalk. You know, upgrade it as you go.
I think we need to do some research. Everybody in Enigma's chat right now, hold your breath as long as you can, and let us know how long that is.
That'll be the stuff. So you have to, you have to like collect asteroid resources, then return to the space station before the oxygen runs out, and then there's a machine that is called the Elementa, and that will break down the materials from the asteroids into core elements.
Oh, you're touching my chemistry.
This is chemistry crafted, and then you craft tools, machines, and most importantly, tiles for extra rooms. So, like, to unlock the cafeteria, it might take 6 floor and 12 walls, 2 windows, and a cooking pot. And if you go and get all of that stuff and deliver it to the door, you will unlock the cafeteria. It gets built.
Okay.
So you take the elements, so you break all the stuff down into their elements using the Elementa, and then you can craft things with those elements using the Elemental Assembler. What happens if I don't make it back in time for oxygen? You will die. You will become a little skeleton. No, I'll probably have it where you are knocked out, and then there is a little AI on the ship, like a little robot, and you'll wake back up, but he'll have left all of the asteroid stuff, so you won't know. Yeah, it's just basically you don't get the progression.
There we go.
So you kind of like, you don't, it's not like a game over, just, you know, the oxygen runs out, you know, your character goes limp, screen goes black, you wake up in your bed. It's similar to Deep Rock Galactic. They kind of like, if you fail a mission, you're not dead. They kind of, the robots drag you back. And then you also on.
I was just saying, I like what you're laying out, and it also, some of the things you're putting out addresses some issues I've had with a game core loop, like just that little oxygen part before. And I like the way you're addressing these issues that I've had, which I have not expressed to you. So,
and then so the next part is basically expand the station by crafting and submitting those required resources for those things to have that room made. And then once you've got that room, you can go and do stuff in there. But then you need to eventually get to the point where you make a elemental cloning machine that will clone elements from you. And then those will create crewmates that will run those rooms. So you'll end up with a chef or a gardener for the biosphere or a mechanic or whatever to fix the machines when they break down, because there'd be like an RNG or a base system, like a weighted system. Like every now and then a machine will break down, you have to fix it. And the whole point of the game is you've got to aim for a fully operational space station that has that's self-sufficient. This bit's the bit that's probably most interesting for you, Shallon, is the gameplay systems, because that's the bit that will affect you. So spacewalk mining, so time limited excursions based on oxygen capacity. Randomized asteroid fields with various shapes, colors, and resource types. So like an asteroid that's like slightly more blue, slightly more green, slightly more orange. Maybe we can put like some crystals or some ores on them. I'll model that in Blockbench as well. And then mining is a simple like one button action. I'm thinking like the what's it called? You know in the level of, you know, the Doretta missions.
Yes.
In Deep Rock, you know when you run out of fuel and you have to go like mine.
Yes.
Those things, and it like shoots a laser out and then it just goes and goes away.
That,
basically. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So just a simple sort of bit, like a that could be an upgrade. Like I have in there, like if you wanted to do it as an upgrade, we could. You don't have to. And then hazard example, so drifting too far, micrometeorites, debris that could hit the character and stuff, which would basically, when they go outside, the oxygen becomes their health. So if they get hit by debris, it just takes a chunk off the oxygen. Oxygen system. Start with a basic oxygen tank, 60 seconds per walk. Can be upgraded with better materials. So titanium for the tank body, purifying O2 canisters, or purified O2 canisters. Oxygen refills over time whilst you're in the station. I don't want to have like a machine that you have to then make to because that was my initial thought, was like, okay, so you go out and you get the elements and then you can like recreate oxygen in the bit to then do that. It's like, well, because then how, like, I started to get into this bit of like, well, how does I'm just going to explain this. I got into the bit of like, how do they create oxygen on the actual space station? It was like, oh, they'd use like electrolysis on water. It's like, well, do I do that and have it where you go out and like mine ice off of asteroids and then you have to bring it back in and then do it? It's just like, no, just keep it simple. Oxygen refills whilst you're in the station.
You turn this into a Schedule 1 game. and the planets produce the oxygen.
The Elementa, so you deposit the asteroid chunks, and they're broken into their base elements. So carbon, iron, silicon, xenon, crystal dust.
Shallon.
Tank for capacity, O2 purifier for slower use of O2. Yeah, it would. So I'm thinking like outside, I'll create like almost like a tank-shaped bar, and then when you upgrade the tank capacity, that will get bigger, and then the color of the O2 will become a more vivid blue when you get the better purified O2. So it'll be like a darker blue and then become a lighter blue. Is what I'm thinking with that. Higher level elemental upgrades would yield more or rarer elements per chunk of asteroid that you put into it. So we could do like an upgrade system and have like Elemental Mark 1, Elemental Mark 2, and Elemental Mark 3. if we also wanted. But I think for now, during these 7 days, just focus on one element, and if like past that point we can add some extra polish into it later. UI displays recipes as blueprints once discovered, so it just basically an inventory is like, oh, this takes this and this. Recipe requires combination of elements, 5 carbon, 2 iron, is a floor tile. And then categories like tiles, machines, crew pods, oxygen fuel cells, decoration. Station expansion. Initially, you start in a single room hub, has doors, like corridor doors leading off to empty modules. Each module unlocks when the required crafted parts are submitted. That allows us to gate in a nice way, because it means that, like, if you need a lot of crystal for the biosphere to make glass, that could be further out than what you can get to on 60 seconds of oxygen and back. So you have to build up to that so you can get enough to be able to then make that thing. So that's how we can gate things nicely without it being like, oh, that's an obvious like gate.
Yeah, and then if you end up enhancing your oxygen, maybe you can bypass some stuff, or you can jump over there. But you have to actually make an intentional decision, which is where a lot of other games are lacking. Is you don't get to make the decision; they just say, "No, you can't do the thing."
Yeah. So, like examples, like cafeteria. I have a typo in there. 20 floor tiles, 20 wall tiles, 5 windows, and 1 cooking pod would make the cafeteria. Biosphere, 15 soil bags, 10 grow lamps, 3 glass walls, and 1 gardener pod. Engine room, 20 power tiles, 5 fuel cores, and 1 engineer pod. And then there's a bit about cloning crewmate. So the cloning machine unlocks mid-game, requires DNA sample collected from rare asteroids or found databanks, requires biogel and nanotissue. Each clone has 1 job and automates certain functions. So cook keeps food topped up, gardener grows oxygen plants. Can be visually customized. That's again, that one there, I should put that in like double brackets, because that's like slightly beyond the scope of like the 7 days. Personalities range from serious to silly with unique dialogue and minor gameplay quirks. Again, that's something that we could then like add in. More than anything, that's just like more hope more than anything. Objective and endgame, expand the base to its full thing, so maybe like 10 to 12 rooms. Automate the essential functions. Oxygen, food, recycling, fuel, morale. It's like might have to make like a gym bit, so like the NPCs will go to the gym, and then like go back out and stuff, like might run on the treadmill or whatever. Build long-range communication array to call for a pickup, and then optional unlock a ship and set a course for home. View crew bios, logs, final cozy cinematic. That's like final. And then we've got the visual style, sound, music, UI and control, and then some progression upgrades, and then a few crafting examples. And I've only done a few because some of it, like, I want to leave some of that thought process, because like you actually did chemistry, for like what sort of things you think would be fun to put in, because obviously it's like a basic type thing, and you could change this and go full element if you wanted. Just I think this is like a simple version.
Yes. Gotta put Shallonium in there.
Shallonium. And that's basically the design document. And I will send you that as well, Shallon, at some point.
That would potentially be helpful, yes.
I will. Before I forget, I'll do it now.
Fair enough.
Bear with me, Chad. Just let me do this. Anyone with this link okay. And then I'm just going to send this to you so you have it, because I feel like that's important.
I have the goldfish. That would be great.
There we go. So like the first thing that I want to do, and I did a little bit of mental play around, is I know that the character is going to be 36 pixels tall, including their helmet and a little bit on the top of their helmet, like a little antenna. So I know that they're going to be 36 tall, which means that my walls for my space station want to be around 52 high in pixels. So I'm going to model all of that in Blockbench.
So this would be a relevant question for me then. If it's going to be 36 pixels tall, a person's about 2 meters tall, so
For this sort of thing, it's sort of like a 1 point. It will all make sense once they're in there, because like once you have the stuff, it'll all be sized correctly, or should be.
That's
sized
true.
correctly.
I shouldn't have to worry about that. I can just scale things up and down. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So like, the first thing that I want to do is create a cube in Blockbench, and I think so. I could keep this as an actual thing and take it to 52 by 52, which I think is what we'll actually do, and just keep it as a 1 is 1. So that there is a wall, but it's not thick enough to be a wall yet, so let's just increase its thickness. There we go, 52 by 52 by 8. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Enigma, why aren't you using power of 8? And it's because I don't have to. And I'm doing what looks best, not necessarily... So that's more of a... that's not a rule, alright? It's more of a guidance. I'm breaking that rule immediately. So, I think what I'm going to do... So this... Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm going to duplicate that layer, and I'm going to hide that, because this is, I'm going to name this size reference. Just so it's there. Like, I don't want to do anything with that. So that there is our, I guess, single piece of wall, which will eventually have a texture on it to make it look like an actual space station wall. And there'll be different wall elements, so I have to figure out roughly how big the very first room would be that you would be in. And I have a feeling that it would be best being yeah, one more than that. I think 4 by maybe 4 by 4 even. Maybe? I'm thinking on this left side is going to be our one door. I need to rotate that. Now here's the thing. I don't remember how to rotate things, but I do. It's been a long time since I've used Blockbench. 90. Whoops. Right, and then pop that there. Overlapping? Oh, it's still overlapping. It is. There we go. There, so now we're kind of like figuring out how far this direction we're going to go. And it needs to be at least 4, because I want those 2 middle ones to be the double door that would go out into space, like the hatch bit, and we'll put like a little airlock on there. This is like our room, I guess. Oh, do I want it to be that big? I don't know, it feels like it's still quite a big room. That's a door. Door would sit around there. That's a double door. So I'd be like around there. think I don't want it to be. I don't think I want it to be 3 by 4. But so that'd be like down here. And then these here would go over that direction. There we go. So we basically have an interior sort of area of a room. And then the floor doesn't really matter so much in terms of like depth. So I'm just gonna put this right on top, and then put its marker color in blue, just so I can visually distinguish the thing.
Finally, that was the longest setup time for a Unity environment ever. You've almost finished half the game.
No, not quite. I think I'm going to do like a thing of 4 because it's like half of a wall, and I can visually tell what's what later on when I start actually turning some of this into like tiles. There we go. So that there is our sort of like room. That's the room that we will be in. A whole bunch. It's like the starting room. And then there's going to be a door on this bit. And that's going to go out down into a hallway that has other bits coming off of it, which is like where our other bits will be. Actually, I might do it off of this one as opposed to that. That might be nicer, maybe. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out sometime. What I need to do is create a texture for these. So a few ways I could do it, but I have a few ideas. Let's start with... Actually, no, let's start with the one that I think will become a door. Which is this one here. So, let's... I've got to remember how to create a text. It's just create... No, it's create texture. It's create texture we want. There we go. So if I leave it at 16, we should be the correct sort of thing. We just want to name this wall 1. No, this would be wall door. Oh, actually, no, I don't want to do that, because if this is the one that has the door on it, I need to figure out the depth, which will be 1, 2, 3. Okay, bear with me here. I have to do some mental counting. Actually, it'd be easy if I think about the door, make the door, and then I just model the rest around it. Yeah. That's the smart way of working. Sometimes you just have to think. Like, I think about the door first, and then from that, it'll become a lot easier. So the width of the door would be 32, because that would feel right, because the character's going to be like 20 odd wide. Yeah. So if we just take that, duplicate that, change that to marker color to be marker color into a light blue. Bring that forward a touch. And that. And then we'll just scale that down to it's at 32, which is there. That's how wide our door would be. And then it would be, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like this. So we're talking 42. And there. Okay. Because this one we have to like change the actual wall itself to go around the door. So it's actually going to be in like a couple of pieces. So it'll be like there. That also wasn't aligned. Is this one aligned? Oh, I didn't actually check to make sure that was actually the center around. But that's fine, we'll do that in a second. So if we duplicate that and move that to that side. Okay. We somehow managed to get that right. I'm kind of amazed about that, to be honest. And then this bit here. So rests on the top there, like that. Should be 32. Yeah, the rest is 32, and then that should be 32. Don't like about using block bench as this nonsense with it. Mr. Heathens.
It's just this whole project. Blockbench, Shallon.
8
right.
and 8. That's 16. Which does, yeah, it does make 32. Okay. So why are you not in the way? Oh, because you... No, you are 8. Okay. Why are you messing with me? If you are 8... and you are... Oh, I see. Vertex, not that. This is going to annoy me. There we go. I will vertex snap this as well. Just to make my life easier. And then we'll do the same with this. Oh yeah, because the whole... Yeah, okay. So it wasn't that bit that was wrong, it was this side. Because I remember this bit was like not quite on the thing, so I had to like move it up. That makes sense. Okay. Dumbass. Alright. So our doors... We'll take piece. Forward. That's also. Two. Actually, how thick is this? Oh yeah, that is a thick door. There we go. That would just explain eventually. So that is a wall piece. All of that there, so I just want to put that into a folder for that. Wall underscore door. Move that to the top. And then hide everything else, so I don't need that. We know the sizes that we're working with. There we go. Beautiful. So this door wants to be split in half so that it can open and close neatly. So let's move that out from there and just work on the door. Let's hide all of that. Not that bit. No, I needed that bit. That bit I needed. There we go. So we'll just duplicate that, put that there, and then half its size. Should be 16. Yes. Put it there, duplicate, and then move that so it's touching it there, and then those would open up sort of sideways. Just get rid of that a second. So this one would go that direction, that would go that direction. Now, there's a couple of things I could do, but I feel like it might overcomplicate it too much in terms of its shape. I might just leave it being simple. I feel like simple is what we need to go with. Alright, okay. And then move that. I'm still getting used to the controls of Blockbench again, apparently. Somewhere around the middle-ish. Ish. Stop. There we go. Alright. Let's set the pivot tool. For that to be on this edge. Not that we'll be using those, but you know. Actually, no, we will be using those because we'll have to animate all of these. Because this door needs to. This door basically needs to have it where when you approach it, it like slides in like that, and then that goes that way, and then you can walk through it. Similar. Be 45. Stop doing that. At the moment that's glitching all over the place, don't worry about that for a second. Right? And then we're going to take the pivot tool, I'm just going to put that there for a second, because then I should be able to take that, duplicate that, and then go to transform, flip along Z. Nope. Flip. On X. Nope. No, it wasn't. It should have been flip along. Am I losing my mind?
Probably.
It's entirely plausible. I did pull it in the right orientation, just the wrong place. Level, okay. Right, and then we need to scale those so they're not massively convenient. And then under its size, we need to like scooch those in a touch. E. And this on the side. E. No. E. Right, there we are. Right, and then we want to take all of not everything bar those two bits and create a texture. Set that to be 16, and we're going to call this. They better have the Star Trek whoosh door opening sound. I'm just gonna get a voice clip of you going. That's what I'm gonna do, Ninja. Just wall door 1. Do that. Some lazy. Rearrange the UV. Don't have to use power of 2 sizes. Oh, there we go. And then we're going to do this. No, this as another texture, and call that wall underscore door. There we go. There we go. There, look at that, beautiful. This is the first piece of wall. Yeah, what I think is probably best. What I think is probably best is taking a sample of that. So that's the bit there, and then we can put that into here. That's not even the right fuck. That's not even the right bit. Come on. Oh yeah. Why are you trying to upset me so much, game? And I'll save that as, so I can import that as a reference and then use that as a swatch for most of it. For now, I'll probably end up recoloring it at some point. Swatch 1 PNG, and then we can come into here and click and add. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It can be a large image. Add a reference image. But why though? I already had a reference image. Oh, that was when I was making the my box or Enigma. Okay. I don't actually need that though. It's a random picture of Archon on my desktop, isn't it?
That's not what I was expecting.
What wasn't what you were expecting?
Oh well, I got the I got the little pseudo player character in there.
I was going to set that up actually. Give me a moment. Let me do that. Let me set that up. I haven't done it yet. I forgot. I got distracted by the design document because now I can stop streaming that bit to you, and then
That's true, because I wasn't even watching.
Open up this. And move that over to here a moment, and then I can add in. Here's the thing: is the best way of adding that. So I suppose it's a game. Would I put it as a game capture? There's no application capture, so I assume. Yeah. Try it. This. A specific window. must be disk. Of course, that name's already in use because I'm lazy, and that's just what I'd have called most things I need. Discord, yes. Don't capture the audio. Because and then what I can do is I can just let me. I hate the fact that Discord does that, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. There we go. And then, oh, wait, how did that break it though? What? You need to sort your life out. Oh, wait, what do you mean? No. Stop it. Like, what is... Okay. Apparently I needed to have that, otherwise Discord doesn't realise that it's a thing. What? Okay. So confused by that. Okay, remove this. Add a new window capture. Call this Discord. Discord 1. How is Discord not an option then? Why are you like this? Who hurt you? Oh yes. There must be a smarter way of doing what I'm trying to do. It's it's just being a pain. I know, I've done this before. Like when me and Lag did a thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll like share your screen along with my screen. And it worked fine. So I feel like this is a Discord problem. We lost the CEO of Discord like quit the other day, and this is one. He was sick of this. This is exactly why he left. He was like, oh, I'm not having this. Nah. So window capture didn't want to do it over. Go again. Sit there now. It just makes no. Alright, whatever. You know what? Just whatever. As long as you're there and you're actually doing a thing, then whatever. And then we put sort of Shallon down here a little bit. Just put them up here. Yeah, we'll put them up there. There we go. Put them there. Just
have to import it
there. Just pop. There's Shallon's, right? Might have to squint to be able to see what he's doing because it's small, because it's code. But
oh yeah, see, I got my little temporary guy, and what I wasn't expecting is when I hit the play button, his oxygen pack is just so hefty that he just kind of like falls over. But then as you like tell him to move around, he just kind of like.
Now,
so clearly we got some issue with gravity.
If you just lower the gravity though, that's pretty much space flight nailed.
Ooh. That is true.
Alright, so we have this, and then I'm gonna so let's go back to I have to go into paint mode. Where's paint?
Oh, there it
is. There's paint mode.
There we go. He's running around now.
Running around.
I hate the fact that like the easiest model looks like a thing that I don't want to mention. But I mean, that's what happens when you just go for a bean, man. Like you don't have a lot of choices.
That is true.
Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna start working on the camera, getting that better. This is supposed to be third person.
No, it's like think of like yeah, sort of that. You know, that sort of like viewpoint, like Stardew, old Loz games and stuff.
Got it. So top down, but not full on 90-degree top.
Yeah, it's sort of like a 45-degree angle type of deal, and you want to set the camera to be orthographic. That bit I know.
Okay.
And you can just have that as a freebie bit of information right there.
Hey, whatever. Speed up.
Right, so I kind of want to put like think we're paneling. We see there where it comes up for that. Maybe the same this side, I guess. And then that's part of this panel. And then we're going to do 2 that way. Oh. Oh, I'm bad. That could be where light goes. This is a panel, this bit here. Go there. I realise I've gone into that. I will fix that. It's not alt, is it? It is alt. Why did alt not do the thing? It did, it just didn't show me the drop at all. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. If you want to be that way, you can.
So I guess one other question I have. I don't know that I can actually implement it until you get further with what you're doing. Do we want the camera following consistently behind the character, or do we want kind of those old like retro vibes of you can run around in the space and then once you get to the edge the camera shifts over?
Yes.
And then recenters. Okay.
It follows the player but loosely. is the way of putting that. It follows them but it's sort of just.
Gotcha.
I feel like it would have probably been smart to have not done it the way I'm doing it, and do it a slightly different way, but it's fine for now. It's fine. But eventually we'll change it. The left top side pixel needs fixing. Oh, did I? Is it probably? This bit here definitely does. But we're going to be doing like a bunch of colouring, so as I go in, I will probably adjust a load of that. Because one of the things that I can't do in this is get a lot of really well. I mean, I technically could. I just really struggle still with doing texturing in Blockbench. So I tend to get these sort of like large block shaping in, and then I go into Photoshop. Ordinarily, which is probably what I will do, but I'll probably do the like final sort of past like texture and stuff in Photoshop where I'm not on stream, mostly because my PC is not great and I feel like it might go horribly wrong if I start trying to do that at the same time as all of this. But these are going to be like metal panels, is what these are going to be. So each one will have its own sort of like shading and stuff on there, so it kind of gets a nice solid look to it. And then that little bit in the center, I'll probably like model some sort of light thing that can go on some of those, but for now, I'll not worry too much about that. Kaboom. So I feel like if we get too bogged down in some of the details, we will never get done.
That's true. That's what I like to do.
So sort of fly by your seat of your pants type of mode. Oh, I somehow selected that. Whoops. It's fine. It's like some of this we can actually make a lot easier for the texturing purposes in a moment. It's like this side and that side, they're identical. There's no difference at the moment. But they will be, so I can't do what I'm going to eventually on those parts. What I could do is increase the size here a little bit. Freeze. Just to fill in a little bit quicker. Oh, big chunky boy. Right, those bits I'm going to worry about for this right this second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to select that face, and I'm going to control and paste the UV face there. And then flip it, and I'm going to do the same with all of these. So I'm just going to take that face, paste it there, and then flip that as well. Take these. And this one. And then this one. Because what that will mean is like anything that I now do on this side will automatically appear on this side because we move the UV faces over, just copying them. That will help us a bunch. Basically save some time. And then for now, I'm going to take the door, I'm going to put it into like this lighter one for now. Which use this light color. I'll go back to paint. I'm going to take that, select a darker palette, and we'll just fill all of those in. Like that. And then the surrounds we're going to do and what we have in the edge on these bits. Then we're going to do copy the UV face on this over to this side. Flip. Do the same here. Paste and flip. There we go. So we don't need that cube in there anymore. And one thing that we have to do is we need to open up this door ever so slightly because we need to put the interior sort of edging in. Which we're doing the lightest colour on here. Just so I can visually see it when I get into... Go. Oh, I think I just did. Oh, yeah, I did. And then go back into edit and just move back to the center. There we go. That's roughly what each of these wall pieces will eventually look like once they're all done. They'll all have like varying bits on. There might be a window on one, but that's what I'm thinking. So they're kind of like that, and then the floor will split into 52s probably as well, just so we can get a nice texture and bit. But I don't think we're going to struggle too much with that because it should be equal to all of this. So you know, it's a 3x4 for this, so it's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tiles in total. That shouldn't be too much. How's your thing going along, Shallon?
Good. Other than I am so used to Python and GD script that I'm trying to remember some of the just basic syntax nonsense that I got to deal with.
Nice, fair.
But if it's going along okay, I may have the basics of the oxygen going, and then I just got to dive into timers a little bit. So right now I'm just going for a very simple, what is the base level oxygen? What do you start with? Are you in a safe zone, meaning the ship? Then the oxygen will go up. If you leave a safe zone, oxygen go down. That's what I'm playing around with right now. Right now I have a basic movement system up. Once I have, like, it looks like you're kind of working on rooms and walls and things. Once I have like that first room to place down, then I can.
Well, yeah. What I'm going to do now that I've sort of explained a little bit and sort of given an example of what the texturing will kind of be like, I'm going to take that wall door out that I've textured, and then I'm going to make like a basic, like, completed shape with all of the room modules and stuff like that on without any texturing. Slap just their default texture and stuff on there, and then I can just send you that, and then you've got like a room to play with. It won't have the textures or anything, but it will be geometrically correct.
Yeah, we're just, gray boxing.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then that'll allow me to actually kind of start screwing around with the camera a little bit, get it to do that. Yeah,
because there's some certain bits movement. Like when the character... Oh, you can't see my screen.
I cannot.
That is a point.
Give me 2 seconds. I know how. I'll just...
You should pull up my stream.
Streamception. There we go. Now I can see.
So this is like roughly the camera angle, but like closer in. They would be on when you're moving around. But if you got down here, this wall would technically be in the way of you seeing. And there's a way that you can do that where the wall here... There's a way of doing it where it becomes translucent.
Yes.
But for now, I'm just going to box out the rest of these rooms real quick. So I'm going to hide.
It still makes me so happy that you're using Blockbench instead of Blender. And it's not because I don't like Blender. It just feels right with the roots.
Well, the main thing is like somebody was actually I got onto a bit earlier on where I was like, oh, hybrid, and then I was like, oh, I wonder if I could use Blockbench with Unity. So I was like having a little look, and then people that were making some like low poly games in Unity were like, don't use Blender, use Blockbench. That's what Blockbench is designed for low poly. Why would you use a tool system that isn't designed for doing that when there's a tool that is designed for doing that? It's like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And plus, the constraints of that particular program helps keep you from deviating too far from the style you're after.
Well, that and
which is nice. Yeah.
Like you know that I've animated stuff in here before with like the Capkins and stuff like that. Like I can animate the character walking and running and stuff like that if it was in 3D. But for this, I can have it where the machines are actually looking like they're doing stuff. Eventually.
That is true. Yeah, that'll be good. That'd be nice. Okay.
So clean mechanizer. That's. I've got to get a calculator out. Oh, actually, I have a phone. No, I mean I do have a phone, but it's the other side of the room. And all right, okay. Give me a moment. I'm gonna go get my. I'm gonna get my phone.
What do you need calculated?
It's easy enough to calculate. Like I know this is like 156 across. When I start doing the other bits, I can't be bothered. So I'm just gonna grab my calculator. It'll take me 2 seconds.
I have my calculator in my hand, but yeah, that's probably fair. Then you can do your.
That's not a calculator.
It literally is. I can change between radians and degrees. It has cosine on it and tangent. All right, chat. While I have you here, I'm just kidding. Let's see.
Alright, I'm back.
And that's how no code works.
And if you heard me laughing, I apologize, and I won't explain why I was laughing, but I was laughing. Right, I want to grab. According to the Gaming Bible website, I've never been on there, but it's just cropped up on my thing for some reason. Discord as we know it may be over. The end times are here. I'm not going to read that article. Sorry, Gaming Bible. If anybody else is interested, you can look it up yourselves. I didn't write it, by the way. That isn't a promotion. I have no idea what Gaming Bible is. It was on my Google News bit for some reason when I picked my phone up.
All right, let's see if this kills the little bean.
No, don't kill my little bean.
I like your little bean.
And destroy her. Alright, there you go.
Space bean. What was I doing? Oh yeah. I was gonna see what happens if I. Ooh. He now dies if he suffocates.
He now dies if he suffocates.
Yep, if he runs out of oxygen, he deletes himself.
Okay, hang on.
Perfect.
Let me go into window and unlock that window capture. I'm just gonna make that bigger so people can actually see it. It'll be a little bit blurry, but people can see it a little bit bigger now.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're making it seem cooler than it is. Hold on. We'll hit the play button.
You made this noise. Woo! And that is a sound of joy.
That's because more happened than I genuinely was expecting. So I got the little bean and he's running around and he's like, "Oh yes, I'm out in space. I am using the oxygens." And then his oxygen. So and then so he has 100% because I haven't actually started doing the timing tick down. And then I set that to 0, and then bam, he deletes himself. Although, to be fair, he's also deleting the camera, so I need to make sure that he's actually just deleting the model, which obviously later on will swap with a death animation. Because the camera itself shouldn't actually delete right now, but it's progress. It at least is checking the values and doing the thing. So cool.
Yeah, I was playing around with the idea of doing like a thing. So like I was saying before about how I like created Discord specifically for games design development. I was thinking of doing like in the future some like internal jam things where they can last like maybe like a month, so like bigger than a jam, but like a little bit of fun. And I was like, oh, we could like make a trophy for that, like with my modeling thing, and you do like 3D print and stuff. We can make a little like thing and just to send it out. And I was like, oh, like the coding king. And I was like, no, that sounds like codeine king when you put coding and king together, because the G and the K mix and it sounds like coding king.
See, if I could trust people, and by people I mean myself, we could full on use the CNC and make a metal trophy, and then make a traveling trophy. The problem is I think it would like, I would have to earn it, and then I would just forget to ship it out to whoever actually wins. So, traveling trophy, maybe not the best idea.
You just orchestrate it so you win.
That's how I like to do things. Because then I don't even have to make the trophy. I can just know in my heart that it's there and it exists. Okay. This little guy's running around, and that's great, but I need to figure out how to not delete the camera. I know what it is. It's because I put the script on the main player controller, and so it's just, since I'm just using a very rudimentary delete game object, it's just deleting the whole player controller. Oh, so probably it would make more sense to put that on the player mesh, because the player mesh could change depending on if we get to the customization we've talked about or not. So, okay.
Oh, actually, I realised I immediately messed that up. The hardness to be the same. It's to be 156. Right? No, it doesn't. It must be 2, which is 104. And then I need a 52. That's where our mock door is going to go, which will just be left open for your testing. So just do that. There. And then I want to vertex snap that to that edge there. And then that there, and that down here, and then we will vertex snap a bunch of those. I'm going to vertex snap that to... Did I mess that up? No, you sit on a throne of lies. There we go. Found it. And then that goes to there. Okay. You know, so one of the things that I was doing before, everything's hella blurry. Yeah. Sorry, Demon. That was I was sharing Shallon's screen for a moment because I was looking at what it was. Normally his screen's like smaller and in the corner. Although at the moment it's apparently just vanished because Discord and sharing his thing. I'll figure that out for the next time we do one of these. So I'm figuring out like layouts at the moment, and so this is where the double door is going to be. This is like going to be our hatch that will go out into space eventually. But for now, we're just leaving it like that. And then this was going to be the like hall, but I actually don't think I like that. I think what I'm going to do is delete that. What I'm going to do is just undo that, go 208 on that, make that a solid wall, and then do what I did before, and then make the hall coming off the bottom instead. So I just basically want that to be a 52. And then we're going to take that, duplicate that, and then we'll vertex snap it to this edge, like that. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, that just feels better to me because we can have like machines in this bit, and then we come down the hallways eventually to unlock them. Because like this won't even be unlocked. This will be the only room you have at the very beginning. Also, yeah, welcome to the stream, Demon. For just to get people caught up, if anybody has tuning, because we've been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes. I should do like an hourly catch up on these sorts of things. Me and Shallon are seeing how far through a game we can design and develop in 1 week. So we're starting today, and then it's going to end next Friday, and we're going to see how far we can get. We're making like a hybrid 2D 3D low poly. So things like Octopath Traveler and things like that. Cozy sim with an element of isolation because you're in space and you've got to sort of like collect elements from an asteroid. Hey, Arashi! Oh my god, hello Enigma. Hello, how's it going? So yeah, the idea is that you will be like a little sprite 2D character, a little spaceman that I'm going to make at some point. And you will go out into the, like, on little spacewalks. You gotta upgrade your oxygen tank as you progress through the game, so you can go further and further out. Collect asteroids, break them down, bring them in, put them into a machine called an elementer. That will break down the asteroids into key component elements, and then you have to craft new things to be able to expand your space station out, and clone things. So, like, there's a few bits that I haven't really gone into on the game design document that I now realize that I need to do, but I'll do that tomorrow. So I was like, oh yeah, you get DNA from data disks. Didn't explain how, where, what the hell a data disk is anywhere else. I will point out that I was writing that whilst looking after my newborn. So forgive me. Or don't. I don't care.
I don't know if it's a newborn if they already got their college degree and stuff. I mean, they're smarter than I am.
And then what we're going to do is take that. We're going to duplicate that, and we're just going to move that down here. And we're going to what we'll do is we'll vertex snap that to the inner edge, I guess, like there. But put it here, like there. We will vertex snap it in a moment. So this would be our hall, eventually, and then we'd have like a bunch of rooms coming off of this. So actually, maybe we do want that door. Maybe we just want 2 doors. I kind of like the idea of eventually you unlock an actual lab, and that would be through here. Yeah, okay. So let's put that to being back to 104, and then duplicate, and then set this to be a 52, and then we'll vertex snap that to this corner. If anybody's wondering what this program is as well, by the way, it's called Blockbench. Use it for doing low poly stuff. A lot of people use it for Minecraft. That's how I originally started using it. But it's a pretty fun, quick thing to learn. Everything's cubes. Everything's cubes. So one of the things that I don't know yet is how long this hallway would be, because there's going to be rooms coming off it. So that would be a room there. So technically, that would be bigger than that. It would come down this way. But we have to make sure it stays as a a multiplication of 52. That'd be like there, and then this. So if we imagine, I think maybe somewhere around there for now. Yeah, because, like, basically what I'm thinking, Ninja, is, like, there'd be a door here. This hallway might need to be a little bit wider, to be fair. Which we can also do. We can take this out to be sort of, like, there-ish or something. I'll figure that out in a moment. But there'll be these doors, and you won't see, like, none of this will technically exist. It would be blocked off, essentially, and the rooms would get built once you submit the stuff to that door. So, like, there'd be, like, a thing here, like a little, like a control panel. You would go over to the control panel that's, like, there in the hallway, and you'd be like, oh, I want to unlock this, and it's like, well, this is the cafeteria, you will need the fog of space. Space fog. I want to unlock this thing, and be like, well, this is the cafeteria, you need this, and then you sort of go, and you're, like, trying to collect, you do all of the stuff, and then eventually you unlock it. It's just a case of figuring out sizings for a lot of it. For the most part. And I don't really know what all of the rooms are even going to be. I know that there was going to be a cafeteria. That I know. I know that there was going to be a like a biosphere, like a greenhousey type thing, and I was going to put a gym in and a mechanics thing. So that's 4. But beyond that, I don't really know what thing. Like maybe before you can clone people, you need to have like a bunk room, like a room that there's like has beds in it, so they can go sleep. But yeah, if anybody in chat has any ideas of what other rooms could be in, do let me know, because I have no idea. We're making this up essentially as we go along at this point. It'd be like that, and then there'd be like another bunch this side. A smart man would have drawn this out on paper, but I didn't do that. That's something I didn't do. I should have, but I didn't.
Part of that was you're like, hey, Sean, do you want to make a game with me today? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So, I mean, it's not that you're not smart. It was just we leaned into the hyper focus.
Well, I tried to make sure that I didn't do too much as well before coming in. So I didn't even really look at like one of the things that might be helpful before I really commit to this would be like actually seeing what a space station actually looks like. I feel like would be helpful to a degree. You're trying out now. I am, but it's a very slow way of handling it, if I'm honest. I feel like there would be definitely better ways of doing it. But at least like I can put this together. And then I can like send it so that Shallon has a thing he can at least walk around roughly to get a feel for sort of scaling, because he can like scale his stuff to it, because like this is the size that the actual stuff will be.
Well, and with that as well, like I now have the oxygen going up and down at a more controlled rate, and then if something is in a safe space, it goes up. If it's not in a safe space, it goes down. So then once I have that, I'll be able to actually figure out how to connect that particular object with the safe space variable. So that way I can then, instead of using a Boolean toggle right now where I just check a box between safe space and unspace, I can literally just move the little bean character in and out of that zone. And then that will tell me that, yes, the oxygen system is functioning.
Yeah. Alright, Ninja, you have a nice night. I will see you tomorrow for streaming. Let's do that there. We'll just delete that wall. Ooh.
Let's see if this is actually correct.
Slide that up there like that. We can just slide that one over there. There we go. It's loose, but it's definitely a bit. Okay, so we're just going to take all of these cubes. Just put that into a folder. And then create a texture for it and just call that test underscore texture. I should actually update my stream elements. I've just realised that it is saying to join the Random Fandom Discord, but that's not the Random Fandom Discord link. I will fix that at some point. Alright, and then for now, I'm gonna throw in some basic just block colouring. It's not gonna be fantastic, but it's gonna have at least the ability to be able to differentiate between certain parts.
Well, if this works, we can now put oxygen on anything. You want, a character to have oxygen? Great. You want an alien to have oxygen? Great. You want to put it on the wall? You want the walls to breathe? We can do it.
Captain, something's wrong with this ship. What are you talking about? The walls, they're breathing.
I don't feel like that would be the worst B movie ever.
The walls are alive.
Mm-hmm. On a space station. The whole time they're like worried about the big alien chasing them through the thing, and it turns out it's
probably been done.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So let's just create a quick thing here, and we're just going to put this EOE for now. We can put the stuff in. So I'm just going to save that to there. And we'll file. I want to export this. I think it's FBX I need to export it as.
Unity does enjoy FBX. There's two versions, and I don't know if there's a difference between Unity FBX and real one. I know I have seen that differentiated before, but FBX is definitely the call.
Yeah, and I'll click to embed the textures, but I will also send the texture to you as well. Because I know that you had an issue
I don't know how to do it.
On that other bit, so... Because then I can go into this folder. And it's these two. Just add those
You-
into a zip.
I do wonder if you should include the floor as a separate entity.
A separate piece.
The walls.
Probably. Eventually I will. I just wanted to see like the scaling. Unless you need it to be a separate thing right immediately.
If it's a separate thing, that allows me to trigger it as safe versus unsafe plus collider stuff. I mean, there's probably a way to deal with the collider stuff on the walls as a thing. Well,
See, safe and unsafe, I figured you could just do as like an actual trigger box.
yeah.
For,
You know,
for
that
the
would keep
bit.
that easy.
Yeah.
And then
Because that way you just make
collider-wise-
boxes for the rooms.
Mhm.
Or actually, yeah, a box for the space station area that is like this
No, that's
is.
a nice simple way. I was
Yeah.
overthinking it. Yeah, and that actually keeps it generic because then we could we have a little random spaceship that pulls up to the side. We can make that a safe space very simply that way. Good call.
This is my safe
Always. And then collider wise, I mean, I guess we have two options there. You can do if they're separate entities, we can run mesh colliders on the walls, and then that'll just match the shape. That is slightly more computational, but we're not making quadruple A games right now. So
Yeah, it
don't think that would
shouldn't be, and it's low
Those-
poly. Like that entire thing is tiny.
just-
I sent you over so I can because like, yeah, that's scale wise what I will be eventually sending. So like,
Okay.
if you can get that bit figured, eventually it'll just be a case of swapping that model out for like
Gotcha.
basically a bunch of different models that are modular. Because like each of the rooms will be its own separate thing. There's a reason I'm going to do the rooms as a separate thing. But that's... I'll get onto that when I'm not streaming in half an hour, because I only ever stream for 2 hours. But I don't want to give away some of the secret sauce on stream.
Sauce.
I like secret sauce.
A lot of people pay a lot of money for secret sauce. Let's make a new folder. We'll call this.
Secret sauce. Sorry, don't call it that.
Well, we just found the name of the game.
Secret sauce.
All right, let's see how well your FBXing worked. Worked out really well. That looks like what you did, but in better color schemes, because it's not the one color. It's also honestly,
Oh, look at
whatever
that.
math you did is like fairly decent.
No, what I really like though is if you look, it's kept all the cubes. Like, look. It's all you can like actually select just a wall.
Oh,
That's very handy to know.
that is fantastic to know. 'Cause if I really want to, I could just mesh collider each one of those and done.
Jared, it also means that I can just make all of the walls 52 by 52 tiles in 3D, and then we can reshape. We could have it randomly generate the shape of the thing if we wanted at that point.
Perfect.
That's very handy to. So if you apply the texture to it, because that has no texture on it at the moment, it's just white.
Ah, yes. Let's. Oh, am I gonna have to do it individually, or am I just being dumb? This I haven't done a lot of. Add component. Is it texture? No, just a basic old material and unload in your material. Hold on, wait. I'm. Ugh. That was the wrong button. There's a brand.
That was. Welcome to a bee. The game has been replaced with bees.
Okay, no, I'm just being dumb. Okay, so then we decided, and then we extract the textures. Is what we decided.
Yeah, I did. The texture is already technically extracted as well. Like
Oh.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it just automatically applied by doing. Oh.
So I've got a question. If you move one of the walls, does it keep the texture like now? Like, because before you open up that and then
Just give me.
I like kept Waldor. Ignore Waldor. Technically, Waldor shouldn't be there.
Oh, understand.
Yeah. So just try and move one of those walls. Like,
just give me like. There we go.
That's a flaw, but it does. It keeps the texture with it. Okay. That changes how I'm going to be doing the models. See, because that means I can do like just 52 by 52 tiles as like single wall pieces, and then just duplicate them over once they're modeled, and just make a tile set. I'm basically just making a 3D tile set.
Yeah,
and then I can pull it into a shape, and then you can change that shape based on test plane. And be like, I don't kind of like that room being there, I'm going to move it over here. That makes life a lot easier. That actually makes it a lot better. Like,
yeah, I mean,
way
like,
better.
We just solved a bunch of things I thought we were going to, like, legitimately have to, like, cry over.
Little cameras. I don't know what we're looking at, chat. Just before anybody asks, I have no idea what's happening here.
I'm trying to just get the camera just to go top down right now, just because then I can keep fiddling with the oxygen system.
Whilst you're doing that, I'm gonna quickly save this project. I'm gonna save it under there. Yeah, it's lovely.
What's a graphic?
You're gonna open up a sprite for the first time in a long time. We will probably make this different in another time, but now, whabam, we have got our thing. Oh, you went like full top down.
Just temporarily, but now I'm distracting myself because I wanna run full top down and just watch the little bean guy run around your level, which he might not right now because I have the feeling he's gonna clip through the walls. Whee. I mean, it feels like a game now. Oh, there we go, out of the safe zone. And then I don't want to touch the wall because I don't want to know that it doesn't actually like automatically just collide and do things, because I know it's not going to. All right, time to test. Yep, we can just run through the wall.
Well, I mean, I mean, it's currently working. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I was not expecting importing walls and level stuff to go as smooth as it did. I love the fact that it holds on to the texture. I love the fact that I can still individually select things, because I mean, technically, like, you can make a level like in Blockbench as you're going, and then further levels and things could just be designed in the Unity thing by, like, you could make yourself an asset pack. Yeah. Oh,
tile you're making a 3D tile map, yeah. Just making a 3D tile set type of thing, and then you're pretty much good at that point, which is handy because you also know how to use Blockbench. So
that is true.
So, well, we might go slightly over the 2 hour mark at this point. I kind of want to. I want to sort of like get what I want to get the character out of my head. So, and the best way of doing that is by actually doing it, you know. There we go. Do that in a moment. So here, this goes straight up till we get to yeah, like that.
You know, I never actually looked at your thing in a decent camera angle. That level looks so sexy when it's just at an actual, not stupid angle. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, for a basic type of thing, yeah, it's there. And that door technically is like that door that I said to ignore because it doesn't have the texture with it. That does have like two separate bits. So you could set up a trigger, so then when you get close enough, it opens up.
Ah.
I was gonna animate it in things, so like just when you get close, it just plays the animation you can walk through. But I don't know whether that would work the best or doing it that way. But it's cool that the options are all there.
Yeah.
So 1, then 2, and then that goes straight down to the floor. And then we can sort of do 6, 1, 2, 3. So that. To here, then that could go straight up there. This goes straight up, but this needs to be. Let me see. 9, so sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that goes up the same amount, so that is our leave it. And then here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like something like that as a little pocket, and then got like a boots be there and there, but I'm not gonna worry about that just yet. Let me see, so 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Eventually I'll figure out how this thing will move. Have like a sort of still in my head about how this should be, but then I don't really know much else beyond that. Okay. There, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then it'll be 1, 2, and then a 1, like that. That looks. This sort of looks about right. I'm probably going to shift it a little bit, but it's about right. And then that goes up by another 1, and then we're going to go across to there. And this. So it goes there, and then there, and then. This is like where, so this was like a section that I had in, it was like the cap that basically goes straight across. I've confused myself on my original sketch. Yeah, so 4, 2, 2, and then 3 up, That's there. 1, 2, 2, 3. And then this side, it goes down, which is correct. And that runs all the way along until we get in line with essentially where that is. So there. I don't know why I did here. I have no idea. I'm just going to do this. They're confusing me. They're massively confusing me. Oh, I see. I see, yeah, that just goes there. Yeah, that just goes there. There we go. Okay, I'm back on track. Sort of. And then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's that one. Inside. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. 1. 1. 2. 1, 1, and then 2, and then this goes across that way. And then we've got like a I don't know if that's technically right. No, it's not. That is definitely a 1 there. That's that one there. That one there doesn't exist. For a start. That'll help that, and I think that goes down and that goes away. Okay, yeah. And then I think it's like from this one, you know, sort of 2 up and then 1 out, and then up. And then do that. Now and then there'll be like a ball up here, and then our character's head goes in here. Just sort of like 1, 2, 3, so down. 1, 2, 3, down. Now I need to get some color swatch stuff to expand this out, which I think I can do with just oh, there's a way of me changing that color. Add a foreground color to the palette. Oh, okay. So that. Add to the palette. Okay, cool. And then I want this sort of darker orange in there. So let's just add that into the palette. And then of sorting some color swatches real quick. I don't even know whether these will be the final bits. I just feel like they will be, but I'm not too sure.
Gonna assume if there's an on trigger enter, there should be an on trigger exit. I know one thing I definitely need to look into is how some of the child-parent relationships work when it comes to triggers and scripts and things like that. Because like right now I have, in order to do the trigger block for the space station, I had to use two separate colliders set to trigger because, you know, it's an L shape, or it's not really an L, but you know what I mean. And so, like, it's like, can I just call it on the space station? Do I have to go through and check each individual trigger underneath? So, I'm trying to figure that out. I'm hoping I get lucky, and just as long as the triggers are set to trigger, that it'll just detect that it's in a triggerable entity, and just be like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do the thing. We will find out.
The thing! I should do it. Okay. So, let's start from here. I apologize, chat. I definitely have no like lyric music, like no singing music selected on Pretzel, but for some reason it decided it was like nah, you will have, and then I try and skip it and the entire system breaks. Okay, so it turns out the Pretzel's like gone to crap. Apparently. Oh no, there we go. We got there. It's fixed. This was the bit. Actually, no, I think it is actually that shape exactly. I say that's the bit that confuses me, but actually, I don't think it is the bit that confuses me. I think just my brain confuses me. Oh hell. Oh hell. Right. And then we want to go up along there, and then down. Oh, no, I Father, I messed up again. It's okay, it's fine. I think it's too dark. Let's brighten that up a touch. Yeah. I think that would be in slightly different. It's fine. I'll probably add in some variants in there at some point anyway, so it's not really like it's a big deal. If you're ever doing pixel art, and you're thinking, oh, that particular bit there looks bad, it's probably that you're just using solid black, because using solid blocks is just a generally terrible idea. Just don't do it. It's just not advisable. Alright, let's give this little sucker some facial color. I can see what he kind of is looking like a little bit here. I have this, so we'll put that there. There and a bit here. And then this. There. And for now we're just going to go up. Put that bit in there. This one here tends to be a bit there, could be gone in a moment. Just getting some variance on some of these colourings. Take that to be slightly. Oh, something like that. Yeah, that seems alright. Maybe it's a little bit too trusting. Yeah, that should do it. Which one? In there. Like that. And then reset that colour. I'm going to go up a little bit and we want to put in some light. Like there. Put there. Put there. And then we're going to put like a bunch come across here like that. And then you'll take some of that to be even lighter. Yeah. Oh. I will be right back a moment. Oh, I also just realised I made a terrible mistake, but I'll solve that in a moment.
Strapped-in losers, it's time to witness a disaster in real time. The Enigma's on the case.
You thought coding was hard? Nah, just wait.
I'm in Unity, not sure what I'm doing, but hey, it's fine, let's see what I ruin. Models, oh, they're kinda bendy. Hope you like my art, it's glitchy and trendy. Yeah, it's the Enigma, my games are a mess. Watch me code my way into an epic stress. I break it, I fix it, well, mostly break. But stick around, maybe you'll learn from my mistake. Pixel art, more like pixel chaos. What's that, a bug?
Okay,
nah, it's just a flaw.
Why are we? No, that is the wrong one. Oh, I know why. Because I need to do face. There we go. There we go. Alright. So what I want to do is add in probably a little bit of like shadowing and highlights and stuff like that on this fellow. A little bit darker. I'll take this one. This one a bit darker. Excuse you. We'll just take it that direction. Undo. Let's grab that chin. Something along those lines.
I would just like you to know that I'm a genius, and I believe the oxygen system is now working properly. Definitely didn't have to have. Definitely didn't have to have a little bit of help from ChatGPT to see what dumb thing I was doing. Actually, what happened is I originally made the file called player stats because at first I was like, oh well, it's like the health, and I was doing it, and then I'm like, as I got about halfway through, I'm like, no, this needs to be its own thing. So now I renamed that file to oxygen system and copied it over. Well, I left the player stats script in the asset folder, and then because it was detecting two files named oxygen system with an update function, it hated me and didn't like me. But And I will admit, ChatGPT was like, "Hey, Shallon, you know what would probably be smart?" And I'm like, "What, ChatGPT?" And it's like, you should probably limit the oxygen to like 100 instead of going up and up and up and up and up, and because you can't fill a tank up above 100%. Like 100%, it's 100%. And I was like, "Good job, ChatGPT." So it now caps off at 100 if you're in the space station. And if you back out of the space station, it starts going down.
That makes sense.
I think that's what I was supposed to do. I'm half expecting you to be like that. It's not how oxygen works at all. But...
No, I'm pretty sure that's how oxygen works, I think.
But what I do like is that it's detecting, even though the triggers are the child of a space station object. So there's two of them, and it seems to be connecting. Now, I'm sure it probably currently is going to connect on... Like, I'm curious to see if it will trigger on anything that is set as a collider, as a trigger. However, I know there is a way to deal with that. You just check and see what the collider actually is. Which, at that point, I will probably have to specify that, yes, it is part of this object. But...
It is part of this.
Basic functionality. That's all we're after right now. I like watching him walk around the level and the thing, but I do want to make the walls actually start stopping him, because then it'll feel like a thing instead of a ghost of a thing.
I did what the thing from the drawing that I had down. I think I might try and redo something. I feel like I could give him maybe some more life if I change some of the... Oh, I could make him... I don't know, I kind of like him being sort of like somewhat expressionless, but I feel if I change a couple of bits, I could give him a little bit more... Like, I kind of like the skinniness of him at the moment. Yeah, I am not too sure. I'm not too sure yet. I'll have to think about that one. I'm not sure how I feel about the drawing I've got of him now. I've got to see him like as pixel art. I think he's a cool looking character. I don't think he's got main character energy. I think that's the problem. So I think we'll figure something out for there. At some point that may replace him. This is one of the downsides to one of the differences between like doing like the design as opposed to development is development. You refactor code and stuff, but you never spend like hours doing something that is just completely for nothing. Like you tend to salvage something from it. I don't know necessarily whether this character would end up being put into an actual thing, at least not in its current state. But I'll figure that out. We've been going for 10 minutes longer than what I intended, and I also screwed up. So there was a period of time where nobody could really see anything, and I wasn't paying attention because I was too busy drawing.
It's okay. They might have got to watch what I was doing in tiny 2 pixels per inch.
No, but I think for some reason my entire OBS went black.
Oh.
It's probably just that I had not that much time to get set up this evening because I had to eat and stuff, and trying to get set up for like 8 can be a bit tricky. If I'd have had, because I didn't decide that it was really going to be a stream until after, when my missus was leaving. Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I just wanted to check.
Yeah, so I wasn't too sure whether I'd even stream, and then it was like, I should. I said I was going to, so I should. But I'm gonna. So last week we played an indie game. I think this like try and keep like a Friday as doing some like develop. It's going to become like a developer day where I just go through and do some bits and pieces, whether it's like pixel art or Blockbench or Unity. It'll be one of those bits. But I'll level with you, chat. I'm very tired. It's been a long day. I haven't had much respite from children. I say children, I mean babies. And I also am very warm. So I'm going to go and get some rest because I have to do a stream tomorrow. But I'll be streaming tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Doing some Schedule 1 with Ninja.
I don't know what I did, but somehow the bean is now anti-gravitied, and he is just like floating around above the level. He does crash into the walls now, which is good, but he is. Don't know what. I don't remember inputting any sort of like vertical Y movement, but he does collide with the walls. However, it was just a temporary mesh collider, which is resource intensive, so that'll need to change. But I didn't really see the point in doing box colliders on the walls until you've like kind of finalized your layout. So mesh collider at least lets me see what's going on. But yeah, I'm also, flying away.
Yeah.
It might have something to do with the rigid body physics now that it can collide. It probably collided with the ground at some crazy thing, and since gravity's disabled, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But the oxygen is working. Actually, I guess I should probably double check, right? We will remove that mesh collider that I just added. And because I think that's when I started flying away, is once that got incorporated. So I probably just botched something there. Yeah, okay. Now I'm back on the ground, and I can go through the walls again. But if I click on the right thing, we can see that I am outside of the space. I am back in the building. It is full. It caps at 100. We're ignoring whatever the reason the Y value is changing up there. And then I can go back into space. And it's depleting. These values obviously need to be tweaked. Currently, I believe it fills at 2 units per second. And it depletes at 1 unit per second.
So oxygen fill speed should probably be like 0. I mean, you could test it actually in that bit because you have it in the inspector as a variable, right? There's a thing you can change.
Yeah, and
like
currently
0.0, like maybe 0.1. So it takes a while. Like it should take ages for it to restock. So you have to you can't just go out and spacewalk constantly.
Yeah. Okay, so now it should be depleting at 1 unit per second. So I'll let it get down about 5-ish. Okay. That's going to be going basically at 0.1 multiplied by time delta time, which I believe is either 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. But I believe that it's supposed to be limited from
0.1 might be better.
0.1, so a tenth of a unit per second, if I'm understanding how time delta.
Yeah, that seems fine.
4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, let me get my clock if I can catch it in time. Okay, so if I'll start on the 0.5 and we'll see how long that takes. Okay, starting a real timer. So it will go up 1 unit in, oh my gosh, in exactly 10 seconds is 1 unit, which means I actually did something right on the timer, and the timer is actually moving by 1 second. By whatever value. I feel so smart. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to do that when we started 2 hours ago.
Well, I'm going to leave it there, chat. I'm going to continue with Shallon in this bit. I should have said there's some other stuff as well as the graphics side that I've got to work on. Some sound if I can get around to it. I'm also going to be doing the menu system for the game, which is probably what I'm going to jump over and start doing off stream because I don't have to as stupid as it sounds, I don't have to think as much creatively. It's that side of my brain that's just gone. I'll be around tomorrow. We're going to stream some gaming stuff. Until then, yeah, have fun. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, Nicholas chat.
Bye now.
Hey yo, thanks for watching, dog. I wanna thank you, it means a lot. I hit stream and you stuck around. Just sat back and watched me clown. Hey, but now the stream is done. I hope you had some fun. You wanna go stock up on more snacks? I swear I promise that I'll be back. Follow me on Discord to stay in touch. I got socials, but I don't post much. Wanna chat? Give me a shout. That it from me, Enigma out. Hey yo, thanks for watching, dog. I wanna thank you, it means a lot. I hit stream and you stuck around. Just sat back and watched me clown. Hey, but now the stream is done. I hope